And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say.
Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and open. Either message or email me directly. Link is on me, and we'll set it up, okay? So, Gemini, the energy of the air twins. What is going on here? This is going to be your career read for the month of July. I'm defining career here as being not simply the labor, clocking in, clocking out, what that gets us, but a little bit more than that. The ventures we want to pursue, opportunities, contracts, partnerships, all those things put together in the network. And for the labor that we do put in, what do we hope to gain out of it? Sometimes, the coin is nice, the monetary is good, but also what else? Right? That's the things I'd like to explore. So as a preamble to your read, Gemini, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, even if it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, I have 12 signs to work with and none of the time to lie to any of them. Instead, we lay our cards out on the table, and good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it, because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one, yeah? So follow along with me in your career read today, Gemini, and let's see what the cards say. We're going to do a past, present, future orientation, starting with the past. That way, visually, you can map the trajectory, okay? Show us the cards we need to see, please, for Gemini in the past orientation of this career read. So the cards we need to see, please, for the Gemini collective past orientation of this career read. That's a break. Why are we breaking? We haven't gotten to the first one yet. Could just be bad shuffling, but we'll see. What are the cards we need to see for Gemini in this career read? You're going to notice a little bit of breaks there, a little bit of stops. My policy is, at least for me in the way that I read, if it doesn't hit the table, I can't take. Okay? So, hopefully we can get a card. Yes, we can. Gemini, what was going on in the past? Okay, Three of Pentacles. The value of cooperative labor, but also, if nothing else, amicable, if not flat out friendships along the way. Okay, Three of Pentacles. Seven of Swords. Now, everything may not be as it appears on the surface, though it requires deeper analysis. And why so? Ace of Swords. What is truth? I guess this is more of a personal model or a personal thing, Gemini, but there's a difference between friends and work friends, right? What I'm seeing in your past orientation is that, yeah, there's nothing wrong with liking the people at your job or wherever you're finding your labor and your output to be, but nonetheless, you still have something to work on, something to do, something to accomplish. And so when truth comes in, when push comes to shove, hey, our output, the best that we got, the best that we can do, still goes right back towards this main idea. What do we value more? The work and the labor and what we're trying to put in, or our coworkers, our work friends, things like that? There's something imperative about your environment where I think you're saying, I want a good, good workflow, good people around me versus, but does that override your purpose here, right? It's great to have friends, but it's better to know where that limitation is and also know where you want to go with it, okay? Work friends are work friends, but your friends are also friends. How do you define that, therefore, afterwards, okay? So now that's your past orientation. Let's look towards your present. Show us cards that we need to see, please, for Gemini in this read. In the here and now, what's going on? Breaking. If it breaks again, I'm going to ask the first thing that comes to mind, okay? Because at first I thought it was me and just bad. There we go. See, that is what it looks like when a card hits the table, okay? Four of Cups. Disappointment. A long growing disdain and apathy. In your here and now, I think it's connected to, wanting to have that picture perfect environment where we're all just, laughing and kicking around the table. We got a job to do, right? Don't forget that. What is the present orientation for Gemini in this career read? What's going on in the here and now? The intent to take action towards what? A new beginning, the Fool. Yeah. And this is why I was concerned about your past orientation, Gemini. We were saying, no, the people make this good and make it worth it. And I don't know what's happened between then and now, but you've grown very disdainful over, oh, we were all such good work friends. What happened, right? I think it kind of puts you back into focus, right? Things happen the way they do for a reason, even relationships and dynamics falling apart. And so as they break apart, you're kind of recalibrating yourself with that Knight of Swords. Knights are cards that take action. Swords being not only your home element of air, but swift acting, decisive strikes. I am here to deliver this message, the message that this is showing around me. I need to get myself in order. I need to get myself in check. I want a new beginning, and I ain't got to do with this. Right. Now, I don't know if that means a new job for you or a new venture, Gemini, but I do see that, again, this is why I was kind of tense about that, because that Seven of Swords popping up with Three of Pentacles before. You can have friends, but in the context of work, there's also the job that needs to be done. And I think right now you're really, pushing yourself, even when it comes off as kind of harsh of what you have to say, you're doing this with purpose. You are. And is it fun? No, you're going to rub some people the wrong way, but maybe that's what it probably should have been in the first place. Because again, there's work and then there's friendship. Boom. Around the title. Okay, let's do this. I love when the title comes to me because sometimes that makes it a lot easier instead of when I'm in editing phase and we have to go through, well, maybe this had one point, but that wasn't really, the sauce ain't saucing, right? But that's essentially the point that's happening right now. I'm looking at a Gemini who is really getting themselves in order. They're collecting, they're gathering themselves and saying, okay, we may not be work friends, but there's still work to be done. So my new beginning is not a selfish one. It's somebody who, hey, I tried to make it work, try to make the environment peaceful, try to make sure that we're all cool with each other. And I was still left at the end of the day having to say, nah, I'd rather do my work, right? And sometimes it's just what the environment around you teaches, right? Your new beginning, therefore, is an action towards that apathy. Trying to say it's great to have a good working relationship, but it is still work. Let us try to keep it that way of how it should be, okay? In future orientation, show the cards that we need to see, please. In this career read for Gemini, where the cards we need to see, please, in this career read for Gemini. Good. The Hangman. So now we're putting ourselves into a state of intentional suspension. What are we trying to analyze? Nine of Pentacles. There we go. What did we really need the whole time? I'm glad that this eventually led you back to that question, Gemini, but it comes with a caveat. Six of Swords. Leaving it all behind, moving on. Right? The Nine of Pentacles represents having your own feast, having your own garden, the fulfillment of what you have done and the labor that you put into it, right? Having access to our own abundance. Now, the Hangman is a card of suspension, right? It is not one of self-mutilation or harm. Please don't misconstrue that. It's very easy because of the surface level context to think that. The Hangman is somebody who climbed the tree and literally inverted their gaze upside down because they couldn't see the world differently. So they physically made themselves have to, right? It's intentional observation and it's not meant to last forever. But you're really being forced to ask yourself, now that you want this new beginning, okay, to get to where I said I wanted to be, sometimes I gotta leave it behind. Sometimes I gotta move on, right? The Six of Swords requires action, requires dedication. And so if I once said that what I need for a good environment is a great, stable team where we're all friends and we're working it out, and then boom, something happened to where I don't like none of y'all, right? Hey, that's the truth. But in the future, it really puts you in perspective of, no, this is what's right for me, right? And once I thought it used to be, everybody else around me, us having a good time and being on that kind of wavelength together. But what about me? Right. And that's the question I think you're going to be forcing yourself to dive deeper into as we go forward. Underneath it all, Nine of Swords. Nightmares and anxieties. You didn't want that to happen. Again, I'm not looking at a bitter Gemini. I'm not looking at somebody who, for the sake of the conversation, was just lashing out at people or doing that. You generally try to make it a good, happy environment for all involved. But at one point, it just got to the point where you had to say, the work is more important than us being nice, nasty, right? This is where the actual feelings start to come out. Us being, hey, fake smiles and fake friendships at a job that's actually starting to impede on what you were trying to get done in the first place. That is going to fall to the wayside. Okay, that makes sense. Just know, hey, Gemini, you gave it a shot. Now, focus on you. What do you have to do? Next, cards of connection. Reconnecting energy, please. The bridge gap between all time-based orientations with Gemini and their career read. Show us a space that rests between the past and present orientations, the what was and the what is. For Gemini in this career read. Because I like that for you. You found autonomy in the most backwards way possible. And once you thought that it could be had if we all just lifted the load together, now you're doing your own weightlifting. So what is happening between these two? Yeah, showing the most loving and endearing version of yourself, believing in the possibility of everything around you, and also the sun, right? This was your happiness at one point, Gemini, and I do not want you to discredit that, the open heart that you've been trying to give, the beauty that you've seen and all the possibility around you. But something happened along the way where you just had to recalibrate and say, okay, you don't want to share sunlight with me? Fine, that's cool. We don't have to hate each other, but I still got a job to do. And please don't take it the wrong way of this being a slight towards you. It's just me picking me. That's how it is. Okay, next, between the present and the future, show us cards when you see these. What's happening between the what is and the what if. Now in the future for Gemini in this career read. Queen of Swords. The facts present themselves and they're not fiction, right? You see things for what they are, and now we're saying, okay, let's put our thinking caps on. What do we actually think and feel about this? Ace of Swords, we find truth. We wield it. We execute plans with it. What is that truth? Ooh, this is about to get brutal. King of Swords. King, Queen, Ace. Oh yeah, some choice words are about to be had, Gemini, and it's not going to be fun to be in your way. But I think this is what's going to bring you closure, bring you solace in whatever went wrong in this dynamic of your work relationship or the partnerships you were having, trying to get your projects or whatever done. It's that sometimes a spade is spade, and at the end, the spade is a spade, and at the end of the day's going to end. By the time we get there, what have we done? What have we accomplished? How do we actually feel about everything going on underneath it all? Four of Swords, okay. And even with the things that are said, even with the conflict that you know is brewing on the horizon, hey, I gotta get comfortable with me right now. I gotta know what I feel and where I stand and really dig my heels in and say, I'm not budging for that. What's right for me? What is right for this? That is where I'm moving from now on, okay? Last, as we move towards resolution, define the major arcana from across the table in this read. We will first start with the Fool. What is the new beginning that we're looking towards, right? because the apathy, the discontent, it started to build up over time when we realized, hey, we tried to all be friends, that didn't work out. So what is next? Show Gemini the cards in your seat, please, for their career read. What of the Fool in this new beginning we embark on? Okay. Page of Swords. I like this for you because the person who knows something knows they know nothing at all, right? You're approaching open opportunity, open heart, and open mind. Here, with that Fool connected to that Page of Swords, I want to learn. I want to see what I might have been missing before. I want to learn me. I want to know how I feel now that, we're not prioritizing being nice and the best friends at the job, but just getting our stuff done. Who am I left to be afterwards? So that's good for you, Gemini. Can be isolating at times, but you're trying to learn so you can come back tenfold even stronger and better. I like that for you. To the Hangman. Nine of Cups. Okay. Now what does the best of you look like when you have the best of you at the table? You're going to be finding that out piece by piece, brick by brick. But I think you are on a good pathway right now because you're deciding that, no, it would be nice to have great working relationships and great work friends, but at the end of the day, I got to do what's right for me now. Whereas in the past, it was like, okay, well, as long as we all gel together, that's cool, and I'm okay with that. It just got to a point where you found your voice and you said, nah. It's that simple sometimes. So the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, okay. Then knowing, okay, this is what I'm used to, so this is what we'll try. Things will get better if we try to have a great shared sunlight and warmth amongst all of us, right? It's spun in the right direction because the Wheel of Fortune is always spinning no matter how slow. It's an incredibly slow card, but it represents the only constant in the universe being change. It represents the passage of time and all the, good, bad, or otherwise, the events that transpire from it. When the Wheel of Fortune is activated behind that sun, no, it was going in the right direction. The right direction was the dissolution of the surface level friendship. There's a difference between work collaborators and your friends. Big difference between work friends and friends. Okay. In a crossing pattern, Six of Pentacles. Okay, so the everyday investment that is made is towards you. The Nine of Pentacles, one of separation, and again, your own feast, your own abundance, the keys to your own garden. In resolution, Two of Cups. Here in a career read, Gemini, is there a small contingency of you who may have been looking into dating somebody at the job? Yes, I wouldn't be surprised given how this played out, but that's not the majority, right? I want to point that out. The Two of Cups here is more pointing towards what is actually right for me, actually picks me back, right? I don't have to constantly reach out for it or try to make it work. It just works. And Page of Wands, optimism. I may not have found it yet, but finding me was a good first step. Underneath it all, Eight of Wands, good, direct communication. Now we're being intentional. Now we're moving forward. Now we're saying, no, this doesn't work for me. And I'm not trying to play nice. I'm trying to get it done. Okay, good for you. You dug in and let it play out as it should. Here's what I see in your read today, Gemini. You first wanted a cohesive environment and then said, screw the environment, what about me? It's not a selfish thing. Sometimes when chaos is around you, it actually is meant to serve a purpose, right? Push you in that direction to make you make a decision of what you actually want for yourself. In the future orientation, hey, maybe giving the best of myself means moving on, moving forward, saying what needs to be said, and not trying to fight for, oh, we're just one big happy team anymore. We're not doing that. We're not letting that slide. Instead, doing what's right for me actually makes me re-examine my approach. Yeah, I didn't like that it fell apart, but it did. And now that we're here, what is left to be said? No point in being nasty, okay? We have our work friends, we have our friends, and now we also have ourselves. That's how I got into read today, Gemini. All this conversation helped. And yeah, it took a while to get there, but trust me, you're on the right path. What matters to you right now? That's the bigger and most important question. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.